This is a disaster. Time to wake up. For what is reality? Obviously, no one can say. Reality isn't material, that's just an idea. Reality isn't spiritual, that's just an idea. Reality is...
Peace. You're tuned in to On Beat with OHLOW. This is DJ OHLOW coming to you live from Radio Fairfax here in Fairfax, VA. I've got a couple guests in the house. I've got my friend KPJ, who's been here a few times before. Kevin Peter Jones.
Kevin Peter Jones here. Thank you.
And you have your friend Armin,
yep.
which is who is a music producer slash engineer.
Sound
is
engineer.
That right?
Yep,
Sound engineer. Yeah, that's what's up, man. And we're doing this show in memory of Dave Rapace, which is Kevin Peter Jones's friend and mentor. Is that right?
Yeah, Dave Rapace, a friend of mine from Sacramento, California. We had a band together. We played in a few bands together, but we had one band called Spectrum, and
this was in Sacramento.
Sacramento, California, right? So I've known Dave a long time. He is, again, a keyboard player. He's a saxophone player as well. That's how we met in the college, Cosumnes River College band, jazz band, and that's kind of where it started. But I worked on Dave's project recently with George Duke, Kim Waters, and Eddie Backus Jr., Shake and Doy, a whole list of big hitters on his record. And I recorded 3 tracks on that CD. I saw Dave in January at the NAMM show.
I had the pleasure of meeting him too, man. He was a cool guy, man.
Yeah, he's quite a guy. The sad news that is the real deal is that he's passed away just recently from cancer. But he's a great guy, and we all miss him. We're going to have a tribute in the end of the year, probably around October. I'll be flying to Sacramento.
On that note, man, I'm going to just get into one of his songs real quick. This is Little Black Dress, or Lil, it's Lil, right?
Lil Black Dress.
Lil Black Dress.
And this is actually Dave singing, too. He wrote the song, and boy, he's just a great artist and a great friend. We're going to miss him.
Cool. This is On Beat with OHLOW. Be right back. Peace.
It was a little black dress and she wore it very well that night. She got out of the car looking sexy in the pale moonlight. I'm in love with you. Hey baby, you know it's true.
I don't want to give them everything, man. If people wanted to check that song out, where can they find that online?
Yeah, they can go to iTunes. They can also go to Dave's website, and they can Google his name, Dave Rapace, David Rapace, R-E-P-A-C-E, D-Man. Everything will come up on there. They can also go to my website or email me at kevinpeterjones@yahoo, and I can...
And what's your website? Let them know your website.
Yeah, kevinpeterjones.com.
kevinpeterjones.com.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's... it's not only arranged nicely, but it's recorded nicely too. It sounds beautiful, man. They did a good job with the engineering, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about is engineering, man. So, how long have you been producing and engineering? I want to talk about engineering first. How long have you been engineering?
I did a tremendous amount of engineering years and years ago, and started when I was back in college. I used to mix tapes, mix stuff. I ran the radio station up at George Mason University for a while.
Oh, okay, GMU.
Yeah, up there as an engineer, did all the stuff, rewired the whole sound studios, and went on and worked
for the sound studio for
the entire live studio and
for the radio station.
For the radio station.
Oh, okay,
right.
So, and when was that? What year was that?
That was, gosh, how long ago? Man, back in 90, 91, 90. It was a long time ago on
90s,
that stuff,
huh?
yeah. So I did a lot of engineering on that stuff, but things have changed so much.
Well, no, the reason I was asking is because I went there 98, 99, and I didn't work at the radio station, but I was up there all the time, and I noticed that all the stuff was fresh. It was pretty new.
Yeah.
I can tell. So it might have been your work, man.
It could have been. I know
working
that. I know
cool,
budgets
man.
were tight back then. We didn't get a lot of money, and they didn't want to put the money into the radio station back then. But
yeah, it's even worse today in 2013, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's how it is. KPJ.
Yo.
So give us some updates, man. It's been a couple weeks. It's been a couple months actually that you've been out here, man.
Right.
I know you've been doing a lot, man. You got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I know you got a big show coming up this year.
Got some big shows coming up.
Two big shows actually in 2014.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
There's we're doing 4 nights at the Blues Alley in January, and Randy Brecker, who's incredible trumpet player, he just actually confirmed yesterday. So we've got quite a lineup, of jazz legends and greats that are going to be performing with me. Lenny Castro's on percussion. We got Eric Marienthal on saxophone, Dean Brown on guitar.
And that's going to be in D.C., right?
That'll be in D.C. at Georgetown.
Oh, in Georgetown.
Exactly, at bluesalley.com.
All right, cool.
So we're going to start advertising for that in around October 1st.
Yeah, I mean, you still have 6 months, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
well,
still
I got
some time.
Next 3 months, I'm putting all my music together, arranging everything, getting all of that lined up. I'm also looking at recording it live from Blues Alley, Kevin Peter Jones Jazz Band live from Blues Alley. They haven't done one of those in a long time.
It's about time, man.
So Blues Alley is very excited about what I'm bringing to Washington D.C. The band, they're real excited about it. We're also going to do a video as well, do like 4 songs. So we got some cool stuff lined up. One of the really cool things is a friend of mine, Bob Gruen, who actually just did a HBO special. He's a famous photographer for John Lennon and Yoko and Ike Turner, Tina Turner, and he actually might be coming out.
Oh, that's taking pictures?
Yeah.
Or just hanging out?
He's not he's going to take pictures.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he's going to do some pictures. He's known for his random just blink and takes a shot like you're talking or this kind of thing. It's not like a portrait shot,
Yeah.
So
live in action.
So we're trying to work out a scheduling thing for him.
Yeah.
We're going to rehearse the day before and do some rehearsals and videos, and then the show starts the 16th of January, 8:00 p.m.
Yeah, that's cool. And if people wanted to check that out, they can find that on your website as well?
Exactly.
Or they can go to the website, Blues Alley?
Yeah, but they won't put that up there for
a couple months.
Till October-ish.
Yeah, it's different now, man. I noticed most promotions now are within 3 or 4 weeks of the event. It's not like it used to be like years in advance, man. You know what I mean? Now it's just, I guess with social media and the internet, it's just instant access to whatever you want. So if they give it to you too early, you're gonna forget about it. You know what I'm saying?
It is so changed like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
there should be a sequence. I don't think you should start too early.
Yeah.
I think 3 months is about the max.
Yeah, 3 months.
I would start.
That's what I would say too. 3 months. It gives you time to build the buzz behind it.
I mean, I want to pack out every show.
Yeah.
That's the every
and you
set.
said it's 3 nights or 4 nights?
It's 4 nights.
4 nights.
2 sets a night. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to pack it out and.
Yeah, man. That sounds good, man. And like you said, man, Blues Alley right here in D.C., I haven't heard much from them. I mean, I don't really follow, jazz and blues like that, but I do listen to the other radio stations that play a lot of jazz and blues, and I don't hear their name in their advertisements too much, So
we should get with them and try to figure out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, man.
Because it's for Virginia, it's for D.C., it's it's music, keeping it alive. If you guys watch the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know if anybody watched that, but they had some great bands coming in this year. But one of the speakers, when they brought up Oprah Winfrey, actually introduced Quincy Jones, and he's a legend.
Yeah.
This guy's worked with everybody, and he has like 47 Grammy nominations.
Yeah.
And finally, they get around to talking about Quincy Jones. So he was inducted this year as well. Quincy Jones said if it wasn't for jazz, there would not be all this other music.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
we got to keep jazz alive, DJ OHLOW, Armin. We got to keep it alive, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hip-hop artists that come on my show, and if it wasn't for jazz and funk and blues and these types of music, there really wouldn't be hip-hop today, man. R&B was a big influence too.
That's so true.
Today.
That is so true.
Yeah.
And as you know, we've talked about Bob James, like you just did,
exactly,
and Jeff Lorber, who's actually going to be playing keyboards with me in DC. But a lot of these guys, the rappers, they use loops from these guys.
Yeah, they sample
All
loops.
the
Yeah.
Right, Armin?
All the time.
All the
Yeah.
time, man.
Well, it's different now because they can't get away with it. Now you have to have the money because there was no law before, I'd say like mid-90s. There was really no law to protect copywritten music. And so people would sample, they would take loops, and then they would add other drums, more recent drums or heavier drums to just make the drum stand out more. But then so many people did it that people wanted to get paid for the music they had, copywritten in the past, that they changed the laws. And so now you can't sample anything. It used to be like you can take like 3 seconds of a song or something like that. But now you can't even take a little soundbite, nothing. You can't take anything.
Great.
So it's completely different now. But if you do take sound bites, if you do loops today, you have to pay. So a lot of the guys that are in the industry today work for these record companies that have the rights to the music that they want to sample anyways. So it's like, I wash your hands, you wash mine, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it works for them.
Well,
But the average musician today can't just go and loop something and say,
that's good.
I'm gonna,
I think
it's good, and it kind of hurts it too, man. Because
you're right.
Because look, here's the thing though. I respect the original music, and I like to play the original music. I don't like a lot of these guys that just loop things myself, and it's just my opinion. Unless they do it right, unless they revive a song. If there's a song that was real hot in the '70s and it kind of died out, and they bring it back in 2013, then that's cool. I think that's cool, and they should pay that artist. And they should be able to do, but it shouldn't be so expensive, in my opinion, because some of this stuff is like outrageous what they want for it. You know what I mean? And it's hard. The business is kind of hurting right now. So they, in my opinion, again, they kind of need these types of things to keep the balance.
Yeah,
the
industry right now, if you look at the last 10 years, the average American spent $76 a year on music.
On music.
Today, $26. So it's changed. The industry has changed a lot. There's
$76? What, 10 years
the
ago?
average 10 years ago, yeah.
Wow,
now
man.
it's gone down to $26.
I used to spend so much more. I used to spend $76 on one shot, like one trip to the record store, man.
Right. With Pandora, there's 65 million users on Pandora right now in the U.S. And so I think the industry's changed, and the music industry is the most uncollaborative industry I think there is, because that's why it's all like what you're saying. It's the musicians, the record companies they're tight. They're holding on to everything.
Yeah.
I think honestly, even though I'm a musician and producer, they need to let go of some of that hold.
Yeah, man.
Because it's going to change regardless of what they think.
Exactly. And see, and in my opinion, again, if they have that hold and they hold on too strong, too tight, people are going to give up on the industry, and it's just going to go underground. Because right now on the internet, I see that most of the music is underground. Most of the artists that are coming out now are independent artists. They're just pushing their own music. They find their own ways to market. They use social media and things like that to market their own music. They don't really need these labels. I mean, if they can get a loan, cool, but they don't have to sign these crazy contracts with these labels anymore.
No,
it's not
at
like
all.
Yeah, it's not like what do you think, man?
I mean, most of the stuff that I'm doing these days is all in the computer industry, and this goes back to a philosophy that Google's trying to push upon people, and you kind of got to look at this big picture of the fact that pretty much anything you've created is either already been created or will be created a few seconds after you've created it.
Yeah.
So to block
nothing new under the sun.
Yeah,
right?
nothing new under the sun. And when it is new, it really hits home, and you're really into it, or it's something, that your collaborational efforts just and creative juices suck into, and then everybody's into it, which is kind of different these days because everybody can be instantly into it.
Instantly, yeah, that's what I was saying, man. That's
it's
the
not
thing.
just
there's no build up anymore.
Yeah,
it's just like boom. It's instant gratification, man. And man, you're gonna get me in trouble with that water bottle, man. Just don't let anybody see it, man.
Well, we'll just hide
it's
that
on
back
camera.
down
It's cool, man. I had to say it though, man, because I don't want someone to walk by and see that, man.
You got to keep hydrated these days,
I know,
especially
man.
with the heat
It's
out there.
100 degrees outside these days, man.
That's right.
But,
let me just say something about Armin.
KBJ.
Armin is a very modest cat, but he's a very, very cool cat, man. Very smart. What you might not know, DJ OHLOW, is he's what I call a computer genius.
Cool,
he knows all about computers, security, design. This guy is a monster. Like what I do with music and drums, he's doing it on computers. And he happens to be also an engineer and producer. So we've, became great friends over the years. And so maybe you want to ask him about some of that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Some of what he's saying about the way computers are affecting this, obviously, as we've already talked about. But
the industry.
In the industry. But you see people able to do collaborations like what he's doing, where they can send their music, send their information instantaneously, and somebody can pick up the song and learn it and be ready for a concert the next day.
Yeah.
And, that was unheard of. You had to have at least a little bit of practice with the group before you could actually play somebody else's songs, or and obviously in their case, they're such professionals that they can walk into a situation and pretty much ad-lib it, and it sounds like it was fantastic.
I don't know if this is a real video or not, but I've seen a video online where these guys it was the process of making music all the way up to the process of playing it on stage, and they did everything on via Skype. They weren't even in the same country. And they did everything via Skype. I guess they wrote the song, they practiced on Skype, they did everything, did all their little performances up until, I guess they did the performance on Skype as well, which was pretty crazy. It was like the first time. But it was pretty cool, man. And it's exactly what you're saying. Is like there's no reason. I don't know, man. I can't speak on it, man, because I grew up in the analog era myself. I'm not, I'm not really, really old, but I still grew up on the tail end of the analog era. And so I didn't want to get into the digital era. And so I wanted to ask you, now that everything is digital, all music is pretty much recorded digital. I know a lot of guys like to still use reel-to-reel for the, to make it warm or whatever, get that old sound, that analog sound. But most people just use digital equipment. How do you feel about that, man?
It is so funny because when I was first doing all this, one of the things we used to do was we were looking for amps that had tubes in them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what we wanted. We want that warm feel of the tubes while you're listening to the music coming out of the amps. And of course, now it's the digital guys that are now going in. Well, I just want to have the analog sound of it on a tape, or that crispy sound.
They're doing a good job though, man. They're doing a really good job with it. Yeah.
And of course, I can remember the cost of the equipment to just do regular studio work was so outrageous. And now you can literally buy all of it in a computer system for less than $1,000, and you can have your own little
less
studio.
than $1,000, man. It's like it's real cheap now. It's crazy.
You add your headphones, your microphones. You got to put some money into it.
No, it's still pretty cheap, man. I've been online because I have some equipment that's outdated. It's kind of obsolete now, and I've been looking for some new equipment, and the stuff today is extremely cheap, man. It's real cheap. It's dirt cheap. And there's so many different people making stuff now. There's so many companies now. I've never even heard of.
When you went to NAMM, you saw that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, NAMM was the perfect place, man, because NAMM there was technology I saw at NAMM that I would have never thought about. You know what I mean? For music, it's crazy. Like we saw, I don't know if you remember the Japanese guys that he would sing into a microphone, and it had auto-tune, but it would also change his voice, and it would sound like a nice, perfect woman's voice. You know what I mean? Perfect, like it was Mariah Carey or something. You remember that or not?
I wasn't there at that one.
Yeah, I think it was me and Evan, or he would play something on the keyboard or on a guitar, and it would be all wrong. But I guess it would auto-tune it and fix it, and it'd be perfect. So he was playing terribly, but it was coming out beautifully. You know what I mean? With any voice, he would change the voice from Mariah Carey to, whoever, Luther Vandross or whatever he was doing. You know what I mean?
At the same time, gentlemen, we got to think about this. We got the digital age. I love it. I love all music, digital, house music, hip-hop. I love all of that. But at the same time, we got to keep the acoustic music alive.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Got to do that, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. And the last session we had here, the radio interview, we had some DJs here, and they rapped to my music.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
It was Evan and Sinistar. It was Natural E and Sinistar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you listen to my record, know that we didn't rehearse at all, not once, and we just played it. So I don't know if you're going to be playing any of my tracks today or not.
Yeah, I'm going to get into your track. You know what I'm going to do real quick? I don't mean to cut you off, but I need to get into a quick break for PSAs.
Okay.
And then I'll come back. We'll get into a few more songs. I'm going to play one of your songs, and I'm going to play another one of Dave's songs.
What about one of Armin's songs?
Yeah.
I don't have any of your songs here, man, but
right.
next time you come through, I'll get some of your music, man. But we'll come back. We'll talk some more about music. I'm going to talk about the state of the music industry today, and we'll play some more music. This is On Beat with OHLOW, coming to you live from Radio Fairfax. We'll be right back. Peace.
Radio Fairfax is a 501c3 nonprofit public access station, a service of Cox Communications.
If you like this show or have any comments or feedback, we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call in the studio at 703-560-TALK. That's 703-560-8255.
Peace. This is DJ OHLOW. You're tuned into On Beat with OHLOW, coming to you live from Radio Fairfax. And I'm going to come right in on one of your tracks. Why are you pointing at me, KBJ?
Is that Dave Ripache?
Oh, this is Mi Corazon.
But I am playing. But I am
cool,
playing.
Cool.
It sounds great. I love it.
Yeah, this is Mi Corazon, Dave Ripache. We'll be right back. Peace, peace. This is DJ OHLOW. Again, I don't want to give them the whole track, man. If people wanted to check this song out, they can find it. If you wanted to check this out, you can find it at www.dmanstudios. That's D-M-A-N studios.com. All one word. And this is Dave Ripache. Is it Ripache? Am I saying it right?
Dave Ripache.
Ripache, okay. A portrait of D-Man.
D-Man. He's the man.
Yeah, and this song was Mi Corazon. This is actually my personal favorite song of his.
Cool.
Off this album, man. I like the song a lot.
Yeah.
Did a real good job. And you were playing drums on this song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did a real good job, man. And during the break, Armin brought something up, something really interesting, man. He said that, with jazz music, this recording is so clean that it doesn't even it doesn't really match the term jazz, because jazz is like dirty, and it has like that real live sound, that real acoustic, real analog sound. How do you feel about that, KBJ? Like, I know you probably recorded reel to reel back in the 80s, and it's a different sound today. Do you
2-inch tape?
Yeah,
I love both sounds. I always use a recording engineer when I record and a Pro Tools engineer.
Okay.
So we got them both at the same time at the same place.
All right.
So the engineers, they're for sound to make sure it sounds good. But I usually record on Neve boards. Chick Corea records on Neve boards in his old studio called Mad Hatters in Hollywood, California, where I've been many times. But yeah, I like the old. I've done the 2-inch tape. It's kind of scary though with the tape. You got to really protect that tape.
Yeah.
You know. So
I think what people do today is they record to tape and then play it back and record it digitally, or they record it digitally, bounce it to tape, and then go back digitally, just to get that analog feel, that warmth. But I mean, I don't know. I guess that's the thing about recording too, and you know about this, is like when you find a technique, it's kind of like you got to kind of keep it a secret, because there's no secrets today. Everything. I mean, anything
Right.
I want to find out about recording techniques and different little things, I can get online and I can find anything, man.
Yeah.
So there is no secret to it anymore. Like, the secret's out, man.
which is fine, let it be. We all get the same recipe, and whoever makes the best cookies.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. Whoever makes it the best, right? Yeah, and that's what it comes down to today too, man.
Buy my cookies.
My girl would say is whoever made it with love.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go, man. Got it in there.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But so how do you feel about the sound that you get today?
Oh, I think the sound today is incredible. Like with my record, I know I keep bringing it up, but a lot of people like the sound of my record. And it's not just because of the musicians, but it's because of everything. The studio, the engineer, the way it was recorded, acoustically, no rehearsals. And we just, bam, we just did the recording. So you guys just
improvised the whole album?
Yeah, we just recorded. That's the way Herbie Hancock does it, Miles Davis. I wanted to take that same approach, The only thing we did at the beginning before we counted it off was, okay, Russell and he's going to take that solo. You've had the first solo. You'll end off with that solo and the sax at the end and something like that. And we just run through the arrangement in our minds. Yeah. Because everybody has the music. I put everything in PDFs. But the acoustic sound, like when Quincy Jones said recently, he said, because of jazz music. We should never let jazz music go away. We have to keep it in the schools, keep it with the kids. Don't let it go away, because that's where all music comes from.
It's not going to go anywhere, man. I mean, the thing is and this is based on experience. Like, you know, I just came to one of your recent shows not too long ago, about a month ago or whatever, right? And the thing about live music is that it's live. There's no energy like live music. Electronic music is cool, you know, people get amped up to it, but when you see a live band do the same thing that one DJ or one guy does electronically, there's a whole other vibe to it. There's a whole other feel. And the thing about live music is that improvising is key. Like, you can improvise on, you know, at any given moment, you know what I mean? But with electronic music, it's kind of like laid out, and that's what you have to do. And that's the bad thing, is you would have to edit things and go back. And you can, with electronic music, you could flip things up, but it's not natural. There's no soul to it, you know?
I think with, you know, Madonna, what a great performer. When she puts her show together, unbelievable. Have you seen her show recently that she did in Miami?
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable. She's amazing. She is absolutely amazing. But for something like that, you need all that electronics and the digital and the timing. You know, I've learned to play to a click track. So as a drummer, professional drummer, I can play acoustically without a click track. But when you do a performance like that, you need to also know how to listen to a click track, and because everythit's timed out. And
exactly.
And like that. So there's...
My whole thing is timing, like you said, timing, and timing things out. I mean, you know, it's the name of the show is On Beat. I mean, you know, it's all about timing, man. If it's not, it doesn't matter if you guys are playing live or electronic. My whole thing is like it has to sound right, and it has to feel right. And with me, I like to feel music. I don't just want to hear it.
Yep.
I like things to be recorded, you know, to the best of that person's capabilities. You know what I mean? I want that person to give 100%, and I want to know that he gave 100%, because there's a lot of music that I can hear, and it's cool. Yeah, I can hear it, but I want to feel it. You know, there's a difference. The dynamics of music and recording is key. I mean,
I like to be inspired, DJ OHLOW.
Yeah, man.
When you go to a live concert, it totally inspires me. Like, you just feel it, the energy and the music and the spontaneousness of it, especially with, you know, guys like the Doobie Brothers and the Yellow Jackets, Chick Corea.
Because you see how they're in harmony. Chick Corea, man. I mean, I just listened to one of his tracks recently, actually, like a few days ago, and I was listening to the way they recorded it, and there was actually no drums in this track. It was it sounded like somebody was stomping. So a few people were clapping. There was a piano, a violin, and upright bass, I believe, and that's it. But it was recorded like perfectly, man. You know what I mean? Like, not only can I feel it, I can almost see it. If I close my eyes, I can see them in the room, you know, playing at that time. Anyways, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I thought about Chick Corea. You know, he always used the best engineers. He always used the best, and in my opinion, he used the best studios. You know, and that's key, man. You want to be able to, when somebody's in their car or somebody's in their house and they have a nice system, you want them to be able to feel the music, feel the vibrations. Go ahead, Armin. You want to say something?
Adding on to what he said, I think it is, as an individual who goes out to see something or to see a performance, it's a difference in venue and what you expect when you go to see something. So when you go into a Madonna concert, I mean, you expect things to be in sync. You expect a show.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of money behind that, too.
If you go downtown to, say, like the 930 Club to see a band, you're expecting an interface.
Yeah, exactly.
You're expecting a good feel while you're there. And the same thing when you go to a blues alley and when you go in to listen to jazz. You're in a mood to listen to jazz and feel the music. Yeah. Versus, I think, when you go to see a gigantic concert, even the Doobie Brothers, you're looking for a show, because you're not going to feel that, you know, 30 seats, 60 seats, 500 seats back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know, then you're just feeling the people around you and hoping the good vibe is rubbing off.
Yeah.
And that they're able to make that happen throughout the audience, and they do it with a show, versus when you're in an intimate club, and especially a jazz club, you're there to feel it while you're there.
So on that note, man, like you just said, you know, earlier you were saying there's a lot of clubs and there's a lot of new things, a lot of new venues now for musicians. But when I talk to musicians, they're always telling me how there's not enough. There's not the right venue for them. What do you guys think about the music industry today? Like, where is it going? Where is it right now, first of all? What's the...
Well, I think a lot of people are thinking the music industry is going down, and it is, because, like,
financially
it's gone down, but there's music everywhere. Music is alive in theaters and hotels and on your your iPods and your P-Pods and your mini iPhones and your all iPhone 5s. Think about it. If you had an iPad or an iPod, right, some of those carry 40,000 tunes. Right now, it's 99 cents a track. So literally, it will take you $40,000 to fill your iPod with tunes, or 20,000 if you got the other ones. So nobody's going to spend that. That's crazy. So it has to change. The industry, the thinking of the musicians and the writers and the producers and the record companies, they have to change their thinking, because what people want is they want a cloud that they can access at any time, anywhere, get their music, and maybe it'll be sold in packages or in different, there's got to be a different model, because nobody's going to spend $40,000.
Well, a lot of the kids I talked to today, I asked them, I said, do you guys purchase, where do you guys purchase music from? I asked them, where do you guys go to buy music? And a lot of the kids said, we don't buy music. We just Google whatever we want to find, do a Google search, and they find the MP3 that somebody uploaded somewhere. And I'm not saying this is the right thing to do, because it's actually illegal. Nobody should do that.
Right.
But this is what kids do, and they don't pay for any of the music. Yeah. And I don't know how people are going to stop that. I know they're trying to stop it. There's different ways. There's different agencies that have been set up to try to track this and put a stop to it, put an end to it. But I just don't see it happening, man. And one of the reasons I don't see it happening is because people buy CDs, and then they come home, and in order to put it on their iPad or on their iPod or whatever, they have to rip the CD onto their computer and make files. Now, when it's on your computer, I guess, you can give that to your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, everybody, but that's illegal, though, so that's what I don't get.
Well, they want you to pay for the first time, and they want you to pay it the second time. I think you should be able to pay for it the first time.
But the law is you have to pay for it every time.
I know. That's why the industry has to change their thinking. Something has to change, because, like you said, you can go to Google and just get whatever you want.
And that's the thing is, again, because the change isn't happening, they're losing, because people would rather just go do a Google search and find it and download it and put it on. Again, I'm not saying, I'm not advocating it.
This is why you're seeing ticket prices for almost everything you want to go see go through the roof. Because this is the only way an artist can make money these days.
Doing shows.
Doing shows.
Yeah,
that's the only way. Yeah. Now, whether that's bad or good, in some ways, for somebody like myself who likes to go to a show, it's great. Because, there's more shows because they have to come out and play. As for whether the artist is making the kind of money they could have made off of the albums, no, it's almost impossible to do it.
It's impossible.
Way.
It's hard for them to just pay these loans back, and no one's really making money.
That's why I think the concerts are coming back. Play the performance, live performances, clubs. I think that's all going to come back more.
Yeah. No, it is coming back. Yeah, you're right. No, that's the word in the street right now, too, is with all these young guys. They're like, my main focus is to get listenership. And the way to do it is to do a lot of shows, get involved with music fests and things like that.
Right.
Music fests, in my opinion, are key, because you have people from all over the country, sometimes all over the world, come together, and that's a lot of exposure for anybody that plays at a music fest, And usually with the music fest or a big venue like that, everything is already set up. And I'll get to a KPJ. I
just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, that's cool. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get into one of your tracks real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna get into Gumshoe, and then we'll come back. This is On Beat with OHLOW, coming to you live from Radio Fairfax. I'm gonna get into Gumshoe, which is on Magnetic Journey. Kevin Peter Jones. Peace. Again, that was Gumshoe by Kevin Peter Jones, and that's on Magnetic Journey, which is your most recent CD, right?
Correct.
And if people wanted to find that, where can they find that?
You can find it on iTunes, Magnetic Journey, Kevin Peter Jones, CD Baby, my website, kevinpeterjones.com. Yes,
do you have a Twitter?
Sir. I'm twitting around. You betcha.
Yeah, it's all about Twitter these days, man. People want to follow you.
I got 300 followers. Woohoo!
Oh, yeah. You know what's crazy about followers, man? I don't have many followers on Twitter. I've got a Twitter as well. But there's the bird. I don't know if you guys watch tennis, but the bird that they use, there's a hawk. There's like a baby hawk that they use to chase all the pigeons away before the tennis matches, right?
Yep.
It's a real hawk or like a
No, a real
fake?
hawk.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's a
Yeah,
real
yeah.
hawk.
Mhm.
It's a little baby hawk, and they just let him go, and he chases all the pigeons
Wow.
away. That thing has a Twitter account, and that thing has 4,000 Twitter followers, man. And this was like in the matter of a few months that they set the thing up. So it's pretty crazy the way that Twitter
Is
works.
it true
man.
that you can actually get more followers? They keep saying you can get more followers by doing something.
Yeah, I mean,
that
there's
is-
all right. So there's these engines that you can sign up for.
yeah.
And what they do is basically you give them your information, your access information for Twitter. They log into your account, and then they go. I guess what they do is they go around and they find people that want to follow other people, and they ask them. They do all the work for you.
Really?
Yeah, they just find people.
What does that cost?
But they do it fast. I don't know. I've never done it.
I'm going to check that out.
I don't think it's too expensive because there's a lot of different companies that offer it, so it's pretty competitive right now. I think it used to be
It's
expensive.
the new marketing. This is the whole
Yeah.
point of artists also need to know all this and how to do it
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like
It's the same thing.
Because it's based on image. When somebody sees that you've got 5 followers based on somebody who's got 50,000,
right.
they're gonna say, "Oh, this guy's doing something right." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It doesn't matter if it's kind of like don't judge a book by its cover, but that's on the internet. It's even
That's
worse,
how-
man.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
there's-
it's interesting to see on some bands because I have the girl that my nephew's actually dating right now. She picks up people so fast. She's a Green Day fan, and so every hashtag she puts
Yeah.
on there is Green Day.
I want to have somebody that knows what they're doing with all my media and that could just do it for me. Is there
I mean,
somebody
yeah,
like
there's-
that?
There's a
out
lot
there?
of people like that. Yeah, they're.
How do I get somebody like that?
You pay
You
'em,
got to
man.
trust them though too, right? No.
I mean, it's not even about trust. There's a lot.
It
there's-
is because password information.
Yeah, but you can always. I mean, these types of things. I mean, I don't know about other people, but I don't put my real information on the internet. You know what I
But
mean?
if you're gonna have somebody help you, they got to know your password, so you do have to.
Yeah,
trust
but you
them.
set it up in a way where it's kind of vague. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Like I wouldn't put my personal information on Twitter ever or on Facebook. Any of these things. You
No,
know
but
what I
if
mean?
you can have somebody help you, right?
Yeah.
You got to give that person.
Yeah, but what
your
I'm saying is that
Mhm.
that password and stuff is irrelevant because it would never be linked to my personal information. It's kind of like its own entity. You know what I mean? Like I have, me personally, I've got a whole bunch of stuff for DJ OHLOW, for for beat conductors and different things, and it's its own entity. It's not linked to my straw man.
If I want somebody to help me with my Twitter account, I got to give them my information.
You do.
My
yeah.
password.
But,
Yeah.
but your
Then-
situation here is you're giving a password to Twitter, and of course you should be able to make your change to your Twitter password if you decide you don't want to do business with that
Exactly.
person anymore. But the overall is that you're going to set up an entire 12-month marketing scheme and lay out what you're going to tweet pretty much for an entire 12 months with a marketing
Well,
company.
I want
so that way
somebody-
you make
and-
sure it's getting done.
and that
what you
company-
want to be published is being published.
Exactly, and that company should be a professional company. It shouldn't
Not just
be
some dude.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It shouldn't just be some guy that
Some
you
guy.
met.
Okay.
It should. I mean, there's companies out there that will do it for you, and they charge. I'm sure they charge a good amount, but they'll do a good job, and they'll make sure.
But
that
I
they
want them to handle
focus.
everything, like the website.
Yeah, they do it, man.
Yeah, they do.
updates
I mean,
out
it's-
there, man.
I got to say that it is new. Unfortunately, the problem is it is your brother, your uncle, who's just
Yeah.
gotten into the business, who is doing it. It's kind of a new field, but there are definitely, the marketing companies
I'm
are
looking
starting to
for
realize
somebody.
this is what's going to have
Yeah.
to happen.
It's out there, man. I mean, I can't point you in the right direction, but I know it's out there. I've seen it. I get emails all the time, and there's people always saying, we'll do it for you. But I'm skeptical too, because I'm like, well, I mean, who have you worked for in the past? What have you done? Because a lot of the stuff that I do is organic. I don't want to put out a lot of money into these things because
Right.
it's gonna happen anyways, man. Just doing this show, putting it up on YouTube and these types of things, that helps you get followers anyways. You know what I mean? So there's a science behind it. It's not always about the money. I think in these days we have to use guerrilla tactics. We have to use the free things on the internet. And this is just my opinion. Again, I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm not advocating anything. But this is my opinion. If you want to get ahead, you have to use guerrilla tactics, man. It's just that day.
Are you writing a book called Guerrilla Tactics?
No, man, I should though,
I
man.
think you should.
I'm one of the people. I'm one of the few people, man, that actually try not to spend money on things, and I try to get everything done for free as much as I can. And honestly, man, I mean, I'm not doing a great job, but I've done a pretty good job up to this point. You
Yeah.
know,
I love your
And-
logo, man. Beat Conductors.
Oh,
I really
thanks,
do.
KPJ. Yeah, man. And see,
Yeah.
Beat Conductors is all about the people, man. It's, another guerrilla tactic, man, to get people. Like you said before, there's no collaborative, there's no community. Well, Beat Conductors is that community to bring these people together.
Exactly.
And everybody can feed off of each other and help each other.
Man,
know?
you did a great job at the NAMM show, man. I'm so
Yeah,
glad you
thanks,
went there.
KPJ.
I mean, you recorded some moments that, if it wasn't for you, those moments would not have been recorded, like with Dave Ripache and
Yeah.
just a great time, and the Kevin Peter Jones Jazz
That's what
Band.
it's all about, man. We have to document for the future, man. You know
That's
what I mean?
it. Like
That's what it
the
is.
historical documents.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. Yeah. And if people wanted to check out your historical documents, where can they find that?
Yeah, we can go to
Is
check
it on
out,
your website?
They can check out kevinpeterjones.com.
Okay.
And I got the links to Facebook, Twitter, all the other stuff.
It's all on the website.
I'm on MySpace, 11,000 friends.
Whoa, man. You got to use that, man. Yeah,
I
you
haven't
gotta
used
use
it.
You got to use
It's like
it,
a tool
man.
just sitting there. I haven't
11,000 people, man, that are waiting for your next update, man.
That's
you know what I mean? That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
But Armin, man, this is your opportunity to give people any information about you. If people wanted to check you out, check out any music you have or anything you got going on.
Your .com, come on.
Yeah, my .com. You can see me at cssva.com. Is where
Say it
we're
one more
starting.
time.
One more time, man.
CSSVA. That's
C-
Cat, Sam, Victor Alpha.
All right, CSSVA.com.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And what will people find?
Well, that's pretty much where I'm doing most of my computer stuff. But that way they
Oh,
get in
okay.
touch with me there, and then go from there.
You have a Twitter?
I have a twit for the as they like to call it, for the business. I don't do it.
A Twitter for the
myself.
business?
Yeah, I don't do it. For
How many
myself.
followers you
I
got?
just, I don't know. Like I said, I have somebody else doing it.
Yeah,
Same,
yeah.
same
Hey, well, hey,
situation.
Tony,
I don't-
yeah, it's
I don't
all
do
right.
it.
You'll know.
I know
Yeah.
there's quite a few out there that listen to whatever we're putting out.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, man.
And
Anyway.
let me call Tony and see if he can help you out, okay?
That's cool, man. Again, this is On Beat with OHLOW, coming to you live from Radio Fairfax. I want to thank you guys for coming out. Hope that you guys can come out again. I definitely want to do a live thing with you pretty soon, KPJ. You
All
know what I
right.
mean? I want to get, you could. I know you can't bring your drums in here, but we got to do something, bongos or something.
Yeah, we got to
man.
do something.
Yeah, man, next time. But just want to thank you guys for coming out again.
All right.
Appreciate you guys coming out. This is On Beat with OHLOW. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.